What's good, everyone? We're back at it with the All Facts podcast here. I'm your host, Marcel Noir, and we're here for another episode. And this episode is actually kind of different. It's kind of more of a motivational thing, but this just helps me, and I hope it helps you too. Like, just achieve anything you want to do, whether that's like a small or a big goal. What's good, everyone? We're back at it with the All Facts podcast here. I'm your host. It really just all depends. And we're here for another episode. And this episode is actually kind of different. Steps. You can probably tell by the title, but but the thing is, this just helps me. These 5 steps actually help me, and I hope it actually helps you too. You want to do, whether that's like a small and this is just big goal. These 5 steps actually help me, and it really just all people, especially that I've spoken to. 5, and I hope it helps. Tell by the title, just these 5 steps that can accomplish really any goal. These 5 steps actually help me, and I hope it actually helps you too. These 5 steps actually help me, and it helps other people. The greatest thing I really think about it, just act upon, because this is, and I hope it helps anyone around the world. Just these 5 steps that can accomplish really any goal. This is all, because this really will definitely help you in really any big or small achievement you want to accomplish. And one thing that I really want to throw out there is that because this will definitely help you in really any big or small. One thing I really want to throw out there is that hopefully is that a lot of people have been asking me when I'm gonna upload more and more. I'll try to go for once a week now. Now that we're in 2022, one month has already gone by. I've already settled for my plans for this year. Everything will be settled pretty quickly. I'll try to get as much as one episode per week. However, you will definitely be gifted with at least 3 episodes a month. So don't worry. I got you on the other hand. But without further ado, I got you on the other hand. Without further ado, so what I'm about to tell you are just these 5 steps that I always follow. What I'm about to tell you are just these 5 steps that I always follow. And I just hope it works for you as well. Before, it works for a lot of people. And I just hope it works for you as well. Sometimes, like, you could 5 ways to achieve any goal. These 5 steps and say, "Oh, I've done this." Like, you could, however, it really matters more about your steps and say, "Oh, I've done this." However, it really matters more about your progress than it does about the progress. Is all that matters. The progress you do towards everything you do is the way how progress is all that matters. The way how you, if you make your bed in the morning, you're probably gonna have, is the way how you're highly likely. That's just how productive it is. If you make your bed in the morning, you're probably gonna have. You're highly likely gonna have. Even sometimes just these small things your bed in the morning end up being bigger than you think. And even sometimes just these small things can end up being bigger than you think it is. So such for example, and then let's say you're wiping your some people, and then a little toothpaste gets on the mirror. Sometimes people just leave it on. Some people. Even me, sometimes it happens to me as well. It's only the sometimes people just leave it on. You don't know, because this small. The best way to do is just wipe it off. Actually, just it's only the small thing. However, you don't know, because this small thing can actually just for that be a lot bigger than you think it is. Which that was a great example for that. I'm definitely gonna give you. So before we get into the steps in the future, so that was just what. Don't worry about it. I was gonna say before. And whether you're listening on, make sure you share it. And whether you're listening on Spotify, YouTube, before we Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, and before whatever you're listening on, before we start, at least if you're share it. Show it to people, especially this episode. Show it to people before we start. If you're new, want to know how make sure to check your previous, because I think this. If you're old, this is definitely. I'm definitely going to give you a lot more content in the future. Way so to achieve your goal, and you should follow these steps. Follow these steps. And whether you're listening on, make sure you share it. Whether you're listening on Spotify, YouTube, the first step podcast, acquire skills. Whatever you're listening on, just at least actually might be the most important. Share it and show it to people. Think about it, because skills, especially people that. How show it to people, especially this episode, show it to people applies to whether you want to know how to achieve any goal. Because I think this is definitely skills is really just, especially this is definitely helps you gain great way to tell people, okay, this is a great way to achieve your goal. I like to follow these steps. Follow these steps. So ambition. I'm talking about these steps so much. However, let's just get into it. So the first step is acquire skills. It cannot move at all. It cannot function. This boat actually might be the most important step. Whether you think about it, because skills not well, it's on an island, so it's not going to move at all. You deal with your progress and how more knowledge you have, and how perfect your result could be. The goal, your how perfect your result, and that gonna applies to whether be more your result could be perfect or not. Especially when you just acquire skills, whether that's any goal. So let's say acquiring skills is really just the basis of, especially just it definitely helps you gain the knowledge book for what you want to achieve. The best thing is just to acquire skills. So the way how I like to think of it is that learn how to get ambition without knowledge better at your writing skills. If you want to take a test, dry land. Look at the content. A boat on dry land cannot move. It cannot move at all. It cannot function. Especially it's gonna just be there. The content will especially teach the island and it's not well. It's on an island, so it's not gonna move at all. However, so really, with the more knowledge you have, the a lot easier the ambition. The second step after you acquired the skills, the goal. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do on it? For is gonna action. Take action for the benefit. Achieve that. A lot of especially when you just acquire skills, whether that's any goal. So let's say you want to get an A on your math test, or you want to they don't know where to apply it. They don't know where to put this sort of book. They don't write it down. The best thing is just to acquire skills. And that's not really a great way. If you're writing a book, learn how to get better at your grammar skills. Learn how to get better at your writing skills. If you want to take a test, look at the content. This actually has happened to me multiple times. A lot of the times I won't write down, especially the skills that the content will especially teach you. I don't write down notes and how you apply your knowledge. Boom. That will really be gone. Like the first step is to acquire skills. Like the second step, I learned after you acquire the skills, especially when I'm reading. What are you going to do? What are you going to do on it? When I'm reading the next page, take action. Take action for the benefit. Page. A lot of people just take action. This actually could also be the hardest step because a lot of people reading page, for example, knowledge. If you're going to read, they don't know where to put it. They don't know where to apply it. They don't know where to summarize what happened. They don't write it down. If nothing happens, then nothing really happens. And that's not really a great way to put your knowledge because a lot of the time, your mind will think of other things, trying to get more knowledge, and then the other knowledge gets thrown away. This and that. This actually, the way how we overcome this actually has happened to me multiple times. A lot of the times, I won't write down notes. And then taking action when I'm in an important call and I don't write down notes. It's definitely important for your progress. Boom. When I think of that, will probably be gone like the next second mindset. You can either like everything I learned, especially when I'm reading. I'll read one page tomorrow. When I'm reading the next page, so let's say you want to write an essay, but everything it's all a mindset. You have to think. I will take action for the benefit, and then you write my reading page, for example. If you're going to read that one page, then you're going to write a lot of it. Once you write the first sentence, everything not just take notes. Just everything else will come through. Best thing for me, just because you took that one action, the best thing for me is that to just summarize what happened on that page. If nothing happened, then nothing really happened, then you can just move on from that. However, taking action really for the benefit separates the people. It's kind of like this. We all have fears. We all have fears of doing the ones who take action. They'll definitely the way how we overcome our fears because they'll definitely take an action. It's with action, and then that would take action. The way how we overcome with fears, I said earlier, what you do for one definitely the key to for everything. You take action definitely the key to great progress. If you'll definitely action is definitely the key at all the other action is definitely key to how you make progress. You'll definitely want to take every step going on everything you do. There's going to be more productive things you're going forward. There are definitely more productive things you're going to accomplish. For example, after you got those skills, let's say you take action. For example, make sure you're writing those skills you have. Let's say you're writing this essay, whether you just want to write it or not. Put it on something. Sometimes you can easily just write it on a piece of paper. Sometimes it's really just a mindset. You just have to go. Okay, I'm going to write this essay right now. Apply it to some, and then you write like half the essay, and then you'll be like, okay, maybe I'm done for the day, or you can go productive thing. So for me, I take this on the podcast. So taking action is very important. On something else. Okay, but taking action is just very important because it's definitely important for your progress. Benefit. When I think of action, it's all to do something. A mindset. You can either come out and say, "I'll write this essay today," this is actually or I'll write this essay tomorrow. Especially if you want to, especially if you want to be. Okay, especially if you want to manage your time well, control your time action for benefit. Action is take on your specific goals. This is a lot more important. How do I? So where this? After you have the action for benefit, you take action, you put it on something, you put it on. So let's say you want to write an essay, apply your knowledge to something. It's all a mindset. You have to think, I will write this essay. After that, just take and then you write a little bit of it, and then you're going to write a lot of it. Then you're going to write a lot of it. They'll think once you write like the first sentence, process it everything else wait for the right time to do it. Everything else will come through. They're just very lazy. Especially just because you took that one action, that one step to just write the first sentence. Project due in 5 days. Everything else just came through just because you have a project due in 5 days. A lot of people, especially sometimes me, they'll wait until the final days so that they can finally put all their efforts and all their effort and all their time towards it. However, that's not really a productive way of doing it. A lot of people, they'll say doing it on the final days does it a lot. They'll typically say they get better results when they taking action really days. All relies on I said this how before, the progress is what matters more than the result. I said this before, the progress is what matters. The result all relies will come on but the your progress way matters. The way how you take taking action really separates the people the way that are how productive and the ones that are not productive. The ones who take action, they'll definitely get more work done. Just because they'll definitely take an action on one thing. The best way to do it is just to take action on many different things. I said earlier, what you do for one thing, you do for everything. If you take action on one thing, you'll definitely look over. Are you gonna definitely put that 8-ounce steak over all in your other priorities? No, because it doesn't take action for anything. Most likely, you'll definitely want to take the next step going forward. Pieces. You cut it into pieces. You definitely want to take the next step going forward. That's how you take baby steps. The first step, if you have this project due in 5 days, those skills, you take action on them. Make sure start off with skills you have. You take action. You put it on. You take action. Introduce the idea. You put it on something. Try to introduce the idea. You either take notes or you write it on a piece of paper. Outline your you use conclusion. You use the knowledge. Or you have to put all the knowledge you have, essay or article, whatever you want to do with the knowledge you have. You put it on a productive. Try to make sure everything is neat. I take this on the podcast, so for you, try to make sure everything on something else. Done. And the fifth way, take action for benefit. Review over. And after you have the action for benefit, sometimes it's very demotivating to just to do something. In those 5 days, you did so much. Sometimes it's just more. It's very demotivating to do something. The last 3 days. This is the reason why I take this a step 3 towards. It's just because. This is actually really important. When you take baby steps, if you want to, especially if you want to the way of your progression, especially if you want to manage your time well. Of course, with you're going to aim for especially if you want to. Anyways, however, the taking baby especially steps, if you want to and every use your time well and control your time to take on your specific goals. This is a lot more important. Better. This is a lot more important. You realize you do it for one project. After you have the action for benefit, you put and then take. You take action, you put it on something. You put it on what you. The first skill, apply your knowledge to something. Acquire skills. You apply your knowledge to anything. The second step, take action. After that, just take action and action for the benefit. A lot of the times, a lot of people get demotivated for something because they'll think it's too long of a process to take and they'll wait for the right time to do it. Look at the first step. They're just very lazy. The second step, get that done. Look, the third step, get that done. If you have 5 days into as many different steps, let's say you have a project due in 5 days. Number 4, if you have a project due in 5 days, a lot of people is the most important. A lot of people, this is the most sometimes important step. Well, I don't really, especially sometimes probably not the hardest, but they'll wait until the final days, give up, so that they can finally don't give their efforts and a lot of the all their effort and all their time towards it. However, will do so much. That's not really a productive way of doing it. They won't get a lot of people. They'll say doing it on the final days. That's not how it works. However, if the more consistent you are, the progress is what matters more than the result. I said this just like your progress is what matters. If you the result go into the gym, but the progress matters. The way how you try to lift a 60-pound, the way how you take action and you acquire the skills and you apply dumbbell, the way how you'll settle it. However, is the way you go from better. One day you go from 30. It is good. Then it's good to aim for higher. You go from 35. It's good to aim for higher results. However, progress is 45. And the best way to do it is just to take baby steps. This is definitely the third step, to take baby steps. Just because you didn't get it on that one day. You're eating a steak. You've probably heard this. You have this. Just because you get it, you don't get it on one day. Are you gonna put that 8-ounce steak all in your one mouth? Give up. No, because it doesn't fit. Consistent. Try to be most likely. No, because it doesn't fit. Most likely. Or just stay. What do? You cut it into pieces. Eventually, you cut it into pieces, then you take bite by bite. Just don't give up. That's how you take baby steps. If you have this project due in 5 days. Second one, take. If you have this project due in 5 days, take baby steps. Work on the fourth one. Okay, start off with even if you're in 5 days of it. First day, start off with the idea. Second day, just get it. Try to don't give up. Introduce the idea. Or fifth, try to introduce the idea. The last step. The last step, outline it. Outline the idea. Outline your beginning, conclusion, and don't go back. Third day, relive your failures. Put all the knowledge you'll have into the categories. The way you outline it. And you don't get the results you want. Don't try to make sure everything is neat, everything is settled, everything is done. Everything is done. Because once you try to do that, you're gonna end up everything is settled, everything is neat. Because there are many
And the
times
fifth
where
way,
you'll make a decision,
review.
and then
Review
you'll go in
over
that path,
everything
and
you
then
have, and then
you'll
see
think
if you
about
can
it
make
and
any
say,
improvements.
Oh,
Those in those 5 days,
if I
you
did this
did
back
so
then,
much
I would have
more
had a better,
than
different
just
result. If I did this back then,
the
I
last
probably
3
would have been a
days
lot
putting
better.
all your time and all your
However,
efforts
you
towards
just
it.
gotta think whatever
Just
happened,
because
it happened for a reason.
when you take baby
When
steps,
you
it
took a
definitely
step,
outlines the way of
when
your
you
progression
took in that direction,
rather
it
than
taught
just
you
your
a
results.
lesson.
It is
It
great.
taught
Of
you a
course,
lesson to not
you're going to
go
aim for high
through
results
those steps
anyways.
again.
However,
And then
the
what the
taking
best thing
baby
to do
steps
is just
each
take a
and
step
every
back,
single day you work
look
on that
at every
project,
single
the
thing
project
you've done,
example I
and
gave,
then try to make sure
it's
you've done it for the
definitely
better.
gonna be
It is
a
possible you
lot
take those 4
better.
steps and you
It's
don't
definitely gonna
get the
be
results you
a lot
want.
more better
However,
because
if you don't
once
get
you
the
realize
results
you
you
do
want,
it for
don't
one project,
go
you'll do it
back
for
and
many
try
other
to do the
projects,
same
and then
thing, going for the
that is
same
what
goal.
matters. Just the
If you
progression.
did
So
everything you
the first
could,
skill,
don't go
the
back
first
and try to and you should not
step,
relive your
acquire
failures.
skills, get the knowledge.
Just remember, everything happened for a
The
reason.
second
What's
step,
done
take
is
action.
done. Now,
Take
what's
action
the
and
best
action
thing
for the
that can happen
benefit.
to you
Apply your knowledge
is either you
somewhere.
can just take a step back.
The third
So
step, take baby
that can
steps.
open a new path
Apply
forward.
it. If let's
Or
take baby
you
steps.
just look at
If
everything
you're achieving
and
for
then
a goal,
you just
take baby
look
steps.
at your
Look at the
goal,
first step,
and
get
then
that done. Look
restart.
at the second step,
Try
get
to
that
take a
done. Look at the
restart.
third step,
Look at
get
the
that
stuff
done.
you did wrong,
Apply it into
and then try to make
as
sure
many
you
different steps
come
as you
back
want,
stronger
and
and
take
better.
baby steps from there.
You have the
Fourth,
perseverance. Like go
number 4.
step number 4. Don't give up.
This is the most
Don't give up.
important.
You may not get the results.
This is the
you want,
most
but just don't
important
give
step,
up.
I would say.
And I'll also,
Probably not the
another
hardest, but
thing
the
I
most
really want to touch on
important.
is that,
And that is don't give up.
sometimes you will go back.
Don't give
oh,
up.
if I did this,
A lot of the
if I
times,
did this back, then
a lot of time, people will do so much in one day, and the next day they won't get the best of results.
You should think about why.
However, that's not how it works.
This goal.
If the
your
more
why is
consistent
strong
you
enough,
are,
you'll
the
definitely
better results you're
understand
gonna get.
about how you'll
Especially
get
just
there.
like you're working out
If
at
your
the gym.
why is strong,
If you
think
go
if you
into the
wanna
gym
accomplish
and then
any
you
goal, think about why
you try to lift
wanna
a
do
60-pound weight, you try to
Think
curl
about why do
a
you want to do it.
60-pound
Do you think
weight,
it's
a
you
dumbbell.
wanting yourself to do it?
It's
or
not
do you
going to
think
work
it's
like
someone
that.
else wanting to
It's not
put
going to
on
work like
you?
that. However, if you're
Just
consistent,
at
you
that,
go
if you
from
think about
one day you
that,
go from 30,
you will
curl
never
that,
relive
okay.
your failures.
Then the
and
next
you'll actually
then the
go
next
back
week you
hungrier,
go from
stronger,
35,
and
and then the
smarter,
next week
because
after that you go from
you'll
40,
definitely
then
have
the
a better
45,
ambition, and
then
you'll
you go,
definitely
and then you
strive
50, and
towards
then
your goals a
55,
lot
and
more.
then you
You'll
finally
definitely
get to
strive to
60.
your goals with consistency.
Just because you didn't
with
get it on that
action.
one day. You've probably
So,
heard this many times. Just because you get it,
to
you don't
recap
get it on
everything
one
I
day
said, so
doesn't
the
mean
5 ways to achieve
it's
any goal
the reason for you to
is
give
number
up.
1,
Is the reason
acquire
for you to give
skills.
up.
Just try to stay
get as much
consistent.
knowledge as you
Try
can.
to be.
Number 2,
Try
action,
to
set a schedule,
take action just
or
for your
just
benefit. Apply your
figure
knowledge
it
somewhere.
out. Number 3, okay, I'm not going
the
to say
steps.
that.
Take baby steps.
Just
Start from
try to
one
just
thing one
stay
day, and then
on
start
what
the
you
next
have,
step the
and
next
then
day.
eventually the
4,
results
don't
will
give
come.
up. If you're
Just
in the
don't
middle
give
of it
up.
and you realize
So,
it was wrong,
the first one,
just complete it.
acquire skills.
And sometimes
Second one,
there'll be a lot of things demotivating
the second
you.
one,
Just don't
take
give up.
action. The third
Because
one,
once you give up,
take baby
there's
steps.
never going back.
Take baby steps.
And
Take
number 5, same
take
thing with
baby
don't give up.
steps.
Just
So-
don't go back and relive your failures.
the third one,
Don't
take baby
go back.
steps. The
And
fourth
you should
one,
not relive
don't
your
give up.
failures.
Even
Don't
if you're
try
in the
your
middle
failures
of
again.
it, don't
two
give
ways
up.
you can go
Finish that,
from this.
and then
Just take a
just
step
get
back
it done.
and
Don't
look at
give
your
up.
mistakes and then try
And
to
fifth,
try to cover them
and
up.
the last step,
Or
the last
you
step
try something
to achieve
different.
any goal.
You realize that wasn't for you.
A lot
or
of
you just
this,
try something
I've
different. A lot of
and that's
people
all I gotta
actually
say
for the 5 ways to achieve any
look
goal.
at this.
If you
and
like this,
they'll
make
say
sure
this is actually
make sure
could be
you share with people that also need this advice.
the fifth and the last and
Send a
final
message
step.
through Anchor. If you're listening on
Don't go
Spotify,
back
just send a
and
message
relive
through
your
Anchor.
failures.
If you're on YouTube, you can
Once
comment
you
about
have
if whether you
followed
agree
all
with
the
me
4
or
steps,
other steps
and you don't
would
get the
take
results
if
you
were
want,
in any
don't
situation
go
as
back
well.
and relive.
However,
Don't go back and try to do it again.
However, I really like
Because once you
recording
try to
this.
do that,
This
you're gonna
definitely
end up
helped
with the
me,
same
and I hope
failures.
it helped you as well.
Because there are
And
many
especially
times
since
where
I've
you'll
spoken to
you'll
some
make a
people, this
decision,
definitely helped them
and
as
then
well.
you'll go in that
So,
path, and then you'll
this
think
is
about
the
it and
end
say,
of
"Oh
this
no,
is the
no,
end of this
no.
episode.
Oh, if I went,
Hopefully I get more
if I did
content
this
down the way.
back, then
However,
I would
this
have
is
had a
Harsh
better,
Vikar.
different
This is the
result. If I
All
did
Facts
this back
Podcast,
then, I
and I'm
probably
out.
would have been a lot